Hey guys, welcome back. I apologize in advance for any snifflage that occurs. It's sniffle season. That being said, this whole video is going to be so extremely unflattering. I'm just going to be exposing what my actual day-to-day routine looks like. In the hopes of helping some of you to feel better about your situations, to spread awareness about what avoidant personality disorder, or at least what having avoidant personality disorder with dependent personality traits and also ADHD looks like, because I do understand that everything combined makes my experience my experience. I'm not only diagnosed with avoidant personality, but it's a big part of it, and I know some of you have said that you've also been diagnosed with ADHD. I think the extreme rejection sensitivity dysphoria from ADHD goes hand in hand with avoidant personality, so even if you weren't diagnosed with AvPD, I don't know, even if you're just very depressed, this might resonate with you. But the point is not for me to just come on here and tell you how sad my life is. These are things that I want to put it out there because it's something that I want to change. I don't like the way that I am. I don't like the life that I'm living, and I'm aware of the fact that I am the only one that can change that. It's just been difficult motivating myself to pursue like happiness and fulfillment over comfort and safety. And I have to make myself a little bit uncomfortable to better my life. And this is how I'm starting that process, I guess. So I'm just gonna walk you through what an actual day in my life has looked like basically since the beginning of the pandemic, when I quit my last real job that I had, and everybody went into lockdown, which to me was like the most relief I had ever felt in my life. But I just leaned into it too much and then never stopped isolating, basically. So I wake up a few minutes after my boyfriend leaves for work. So I do have a long-term partner. We live together. I don't talk about that because it's not for me alone to decide to put out there. We don't want to put that out there. Which is difficult because obviously avoidant personality disorder affects that greatly, and it's like a topic I would like to talk about, but in more general, vague terms, I suppose. But anyway, I wake up after he leaves for work and take care of our pets. We have 2 cats and 2 dogs, and they are like they're like my children. I am that millennial. I will likely never have children due to all of everything going on up there. But my animals really give me a reason to get out of bed in the morning. So I get up and I take care of them. After that, I get back in bed, I turn on my hair dryer, and I scroll my phone for like a long time. I check all of my, I've successfully gotten off of TikTok, and I've 99% gotten off of Instagram, but now I'm just on YouTube Shorts. So but the hair dryer, I don't know if this is my ADHD. She's back. This is Evie Jean. So I don't know if it's my ADD or if it's an undiagnosed autism or what it is, but I am obsessed with very loud, deafening white noise as often as possible. I have a white noise machine running in this room 24/7, except for when I turn it off to film a video. But it's not loud enough to drown out all of my thoughts. So I really enjoy just running a hairdryer, and I've been doing this since I was very young. It's the sound and the heat, because I will set it down and point it at me and put a blanket around and make a little hot, loud tent and scroll my phone. And so that's how I start my morning every morning. And, you know, after a little while, the dogs will pester me again to go out and play with them. We might do that a couple times. But otherwise, I'm basically aimlessly scrolling, just trying not to think about anything for the first half of the day. And another thing that is a very important aspect to this that I'm nervous to talk about, obviously, are substances. So substance use disorder, or whichever of, you know, there's levels to that. But substance use is really, really common in basically all neurodivergencies. But especially in avoidant personality disorder, you hear it a lot. People drinking typically to deal with social situations, which is definitely true for me. I did have to go to a Halloween party on Saturday, and I was drinking, and I did spill an entire can of Coke on the floor and embarrassed myself. So isn't that funny? That's really great. But anyway, so I do drink to help me in social situations. But my real issue living in Colorado is that I have become addicted to weed. And I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of it. It's something that I have kept secret from most people in my life, and that is a source of great shame for me. I try to quit often, and I do for various amounts of time, but it never sticks, because when I am home by myself all day long, all the time, that is something that really helps me to sort of numb my emotions and keep me more comfortable and more easily distracted, so that I don't have to think about these like very intense emotions that I have surrounding the state of my life and how lonely I am and how I'm just not in the position that I thought I was, and I'm very disappointed in myself. And so you use substances to numb it and to just not think about it, and I've been doing that for years. So I wake up, I get high, I sit on my bed, and I try not to have a conscious thought. And that usually works until around 11 or 12, when I realize half my day is gone and I better do something so that when my partner comes home, it doesn't look like I just did nothing all day like I have done. So if there's any housework that I need to do, usually the bare fucking minimum is all that I have the capacity for. I'll do a load of dishes. If I have any freelance work to do, I'll work on that. And then my capacity for that runs out after a few hours, and I just am overwhelmed by the need to escape my mind again. And I will load up a video game. Lately it's been Starfield. I've been playing it every single day pretty much since it came out. If anybody else is playing Starfield, I love Starfield. But yeah, so then I'll just start playing a video game, still smoking weed the whole day long, trying not to think about anything. And then I will look at the clock and realize that my partner will be home soon, and I start to get really stressed out about all of the ways that I failed him that day and what kind of mood he might be in when he gets here, and whether or not I have anything to make him for dinner. And I just start getting a lot of anxiety about that. And, you know, I'll try to figure out what the game plan is. Then he gets here, and, you know, we have our little chat after work and maybe eat a meal while watching a YouTube video together. And then it's his time to unwind after work, and he goes and does his thing, and I go back to scrolling on my phone typically until I fall asleep. And that is the whole day, and I live that day over and over and over again pretty much every single day. I leave the house once every week and a half or so to get groceries. I go first thing when I wake up at like 7 a.m. so that the grocery store has as few people in it as possible. And I will go get my groceries and I will come back. Of course, the only other time I ever really leave is to go get more weed, which luckily the people who work at those places are super nice. And that is sort of like my little social interaction for the week, because of course when I go to get groceries, I do the self-checkouts. But yeah, that's like the extent of my life for years, and it is not good. It's not healthy. It's not fulfilling. Oh, I also forgot the part where most mornings I will order DoorDash fast food, money that I don't even really have, that doesn't actually really exist yet, for food that I don't need, just for like that little hit of dopamine to get me through the rest of the day. That's most days. I have credit card debt from DoorDash. My life is a fucking mess. I'm 30 years old. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, and it's really sad. And I need to do something about it. So the first step is just laying it all out there and realizing I have issues with like escapism or dissociation, I guess you could say, and the substance use, which all kind of works into that. It's just, I have been keeping myself so incredibly disconnected from the way that I feel, because the way that I feel is distressing, and I don't know how to cope with that, I guess, or I've just been avoiding coping with that for as long as possible. And, you know, that's a typical ADD thing. I'll worry about it later. I can turn my life around tomorrow, but today I want to feel comfortable and feel safe, and I'll worry about it tomorrow. But tomorrow has came and went for years, and I need to do something different, obviously. So escapism, substance use, those are big issues for me. So I think the first thing I'm trying to do is making these videos in the first place again, is keeping myself engaged in this idea of needing to do something different, needing to change this routine, to disrupt this routine, to hold myself accountable, to have something to say. And the other most obvious place to start is quitting weed. And, you know, I've done it a bunch of times, but since so many people don't even know that I have this problem, then there's no real accountability for me to quit. It's just I quit and then nothing else in my life changes. So then what's even the point of not doing it? But I'm trying to wrap my mind around the fact that my pursuit of happiness is reason enough. And if not now, then when? It's got to be now or never, because things are not good. So I guess this is my declaration that the weed that I have is the weed that I have, and I'm not going to get any more. I really want to quit. I've wanted to quit for a long time, and I'm going to. And that is going to be the first step on my mission to face these issues in my life head on and do something about it, even if it's just one little step at a time. So please share your experience in the comments. Please let me know I'm not alone in some of this. If any of this resonates with you, that would really help, because I'm feeling quite vulnerable in this moment. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.